I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, guys. Sorry, guys. This is a new thing, so it's like, when do we go? But we're here. Welcome back, season 3, episode 1 of The Bold Type. I can't wait to break it down. I'm Nasta, and I'm joined by the lovely Veronica. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you girls? Hello, everyone.
We've got Veronica, and we've got Karla Beltran.
Hey, guys. We have a house full of bold girls
Yes,
here.
we do. Karla, have we been on the show since the beginning?
We've been on the show since the
season
beginning.
1.
Since season 1. I think this is season 4, right? Is this season 4 or season 3?
Wait, am I wrong?
Oh
my gosh, we need to
I was like, wait a second. I think that this is our season 4.
Wait a second, guys.
We are in just another new bold season.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we're in a bold season. I'm so confused right
We
now.
are in season 4, Queen.
Yeah.
Wait.
Welcome
Season
to
4.
this universe.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm stuck in 2019.
It's 2020. Yeah, so we've been since
4
season 1.
seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That's terrible of me, but I just feel like I couldn't even wrap my head around that we've been doing this for 4. That's crazy. That is wild. But anyways, also we found out that some of Karla's predictions since the beginning have come true in our previews for this season coming up. So I'm really excited about it. But overall thoughts of this episode?
I liked the episode. I like how it started. I don't really like how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good episode. I kind of agree with the point Ali, you made when we were watching, was like, it all seems a little too easy, but, especially because at the end of last season, we thought that, this reshaping of Scarlet essentially was, in my mind, I thought it would take up a bigger part of this season.
Yeah.
But it all kind of, wrapped up and found a solution very quickly. So it just leaves me curious to what's going to happen next.
Right. Now that the whole Jacqueline thing is definitely not into question, which it was kind of all season last season. So it'll be interesting to see how it shapes together.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing that they kind of tore that little storyline down, because since we were worried about it all last season, now we're just like, okay, it's done over with.
Yeah.
That anxiety can be done and gone. Well, let's jump on in. Obviously, our favorite guy, Patrick, takes over the office. And I mean, I don't know what it is about that guy and his character, but it aggravates me. Are you on the same boat as me?
I genuinely don't know how I feel about his character, because he has moments where I'm like,
you're sweet. Yeah.
You're sweet. You're genuinely trying to learn and, kind of get on board with, Jacqueline's mentality when it comes to structuring Scarlet. That's great. And then there are times where he, completely disregards her ideas or what she stands for. I'm just like, he's wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that at the beginning when we were first introduced to him, we were like, we hate you.
Well, because you can't
you're
trust
totally
him.
on the
There was
wrong
something
side.
that felt icky.
Yeah, and then we were like, oh, okay, maybe you're not so bad. But then the way that this ended, he was totally the bad guy. And we're like, okay, I still don't like you.
Yeah, but then he immediately takes over Jacqueline's office. Like, I know it's like you got to do what you got to do because you're the new boss and you got to own it and you've got to be, I mean, I guess that's fair talking about it, because it's like, if you have to replace and fill such big shoes, how do you even do it? But you got to kind of take the reins and figure it out. So by replacing her office and saying things got to keep going, like you kind of just got to figure it out.
Yeah, which is basically what got him the job in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think that him having to kind of just take over was another thing that a lot of our characters were battling this episode, where he was very confused, like, I'm going to take over this position because I also don't want to lose my job.
Yeah.
And we definitely saw that a lot with the other characters, especially our girls were very concerned about losing their jobs when the whole issue fiasco happened.
Yeah.
Do you agree with his choice in leaving? After everything he kind of set out to be at Scarlet, I feel like it's kind of a letdown now that he's left. We had all this anger and frustration towards him, but now that he's gone, it's kind of like, oh, well, what do we do with that now?
I feel like it's a letdown for me in the sense that it seemed like Jacqueline did want to enter into a partnership with him at the magazine. And if he was starting to fully get on board with her mentality of how she wants to run it, I think it would have been really interesting to see that partnership flourish. But at the same time, I think I can respect his decision to step away because I think in this episode he saw, especially when he was talking to Kat, that he wasn't going to be the leader that his employees
Looked up to.
look up to, exactly.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Karla.
I think it was a smart decision for him to leave.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I think so too. I think he could kind of see the writing on the wall, and I think he's someone that likes to take charge and do things his own way. And he realized that after all the ups and the downs, this isn't changing. Scarlett is going to be brought and given, and like you said, Veronica, all the employees are going to follow her footsteps and not really have respect for him, which is not that's a really hard thing to do, is to gain respect of employees that, you know, are known to look up to someone for so much. So he even had really hard shoes to kind of fill in that beginning part. But
yeah, but it was also just the way that he came towards the position.
yeah, he
you
came
know,
in
from,
so like hot and heavy.
Yeah, I don't think that he came in saying like, oh, I'm gonna be the next editor-in-chief. You know, he didn't come in saying like, okay, like I'm here to help you guys out. Like, let me get to know the team. Let me get to know everybody. Like, what are your assets? He just went in and he was like, this is what I want to do, and I don't care about anybody else.
Right.
So he already started on the wrong foot, so it's a little bit hard for him to like shuffle back and try to get on the right foot after already having done that.
And I think that that's kind of what made me so angry about like jumping into the office so soon, even though we get it, you gotta like build the respect for the team. But that kind of led us into a huge shock in the beginning of this episode, realizing that Jacqueline was actually fired and let go and told that she needs to leave because she didn't actually get verification that she could go ahead and proceed with this version of Scarlett. And that's interesting because at the end of last season, it kind of seemed like, oh, okay, maybe she's just going to be able to do her Jacqueline thing, set it off and see what happens. So were you guys shocked to find out that she was actually let go from the position?
I won't say that I was too surprised because I feel like throughout the course of this series, the board has kind of been trying to build their case to get rid of Jacqueline just because, you know, she is really inspiring and she does want change. She does want, you know, to move forward. And I feel like the magazine and the board can kind of be stuck in the past. So I won't say I was necessarily surprised. I feel like this was the moment where they're like, got her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised only because I watched a bunch of promos before, and that was like in the promo. And originally, I thought that they put that in there because you were like, oh, the whole season is going to be about getting Jacqueline back.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, well, Jacqueline's gonna get fired, but she's gonna come back, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't think what shocked me the most is that they got her back in the same episode.
Yeah. I'm actually glad about that because it's not we're not harping this whole season about getting Jacqueline back. It's not like that push and pull that we kind of dealt with all last season. Now we definitely know the direction of which Scarlett's going, and she is still the forefront. And now we can kind of focus on all the other things that fall in between. Because now that we're 4 seasons deep, like we've built an establishment around these characters, and we kind of want to see them flourish and grow and kind of move past that whole. Now they've grown into the stage of, okay, we've dealt with a little bit of digital. Now that it's going to be full wave, how do we go on and move forward with that? But something that's interesting too is that because Jacqueline was kind of fired and let go, now the girls are like, well, where do we stand in all of this? And are like, how do we, you know, figure out how to move forward if she's gone? And I just think it's so classic of them to be like, well, we can't. Let's figure out what we can do.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever have even thought that they would go to these lengths to be able to figure out how they could even please Jacqueline or anything, even past her being gone?
I mean, knowing them from the past 3 seasons, yes, I'm not shocked at all that they were like, I was like, okay, I cannot be shooketh by this.
Yeah. Which is so funny because some of the things that they do, obviously, they jump to like whatever they need to do, and they don't care about the consequences in the moment. They never think about what's going to happen to them later when they're doing it. I need to be
That's why they're so bold.
Yeah.
I need to
take a page
like,
of their book. Don't think about the future. Just think about the now. Figure it out.
Yeah. Be in the moment.
Be in the moment.
It's hard.
Just split it.
It's like
split
that-
the Uber.
But it's also like, okay, so you're so in the moment that you're not. It's obviously, I know it's a show, but it's just funny how they're so in the moment that they really don't even care what the consequences are.
Yeah, basically.
They go to the lengths of actually breaking laws
Yeah.
to figure this out. So obviously they've got to climb into this warehouse to get the copies Scarlett to be able to give to Jacqueline to like prove to her and kind of give, maybe stimulate some sort of ploy for her to come back into the office. But like, what did they think was going to happen? I don't even, if I know they didn't really have a plan and it was just kind of, they were taking it out on a whim, but like, this could only have gone bad.
Yeah, it's hard to, like you're saying, Allie, it's hard to kind of figure out what their plan could have been because from the looks of it, obviously they weren't going to break in and try and publish it behind the board's back, especially because once it was published,
I kind of thought
they were
gonna
so
do that.
paranoid about, losing their jobs. So I think this idea, I guess, was just to really make Jacqueline feel like she did the right thing.
Right.
And, like what she did was worth it.
No, that's a great point too, and that's because that's exactly what Jacqueline had said at one point. She was like, I only care about what I did, which was create one of the best issues that I've had in my career. But it was just kind of just so degrading to know that they weren't even going to put it out. They didn't care. They were just trying to worry about money. And it's like, I get it because the board usually is in charge of the money aspect, but what RJ was going into was just too far. And it's like, you're terrible. Like, I do not appreciate you.
It was kind of one of those things where it kind of shows you that we sometimes feel like we're making progress, but we really aren't, because we talk about it now, and the Bold Type does a great job to talk about different issues, and so does Freeform. But there are still a lot of, like, other networks that are against a lot of the things that other networks stand for.
Right.
That they're like, oh no, like our viewers wouldn't appreciate that.
Right.
Like our viewers wouldn't like that. When really they don't even watch their own channel, so they don't even know if their viewers would like it or not.
It's so true. It's like RJ's not the one reading the magazine. He doesn't care. He's just worrying about the investors and the advertisers.
Exactly. Yeah. It definitely shows the politics that goes down behind the scenes and how to a board and RJ's, someone in power that's like holding the money cards of what matters in their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, the anxiety levels of these girls when they find out that the articles have been leaked. I was sitting there like, I don't know if I would be able to even go into work if I were her.
I know.
I would have just assumed I was fired.
See, I think this part of the episode is the part that stood out for me the most, because I would have thought they would have thought like, oh, cool, it was published because that's following Jacqueline's footsteps. Kind of that
pushing the boundaries
and being bold like that. But they were nervous, and I understand completely because, you need a job to be able to sustain yourself, and then what happens, especially if you get fired for something like this? Like, they're thinking, who's going to hire us? So I understand their worry, but I thought secretly, deep down, they would have been more proud.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, I think that the only person that we saw being proud about it was Kat, when she does go in and talk to Patrick about it, and she's like, oh, well, we would give our souls for her, And I was like, oh, that's so beautiful that she even went to say that. But that's scary.
Well, yeah, because here they are, trying to do what they thought Jacqueline would want them to do, and then it kind of comes in this full circle situation. But yeah, as to your point, Veronica, in that case, you would have been like, oh, yeah, like, Jacqueline's still getting out there. The pictures are still being shown. Case closed, but definitely not the case at this point because everything's been shook. But the fact that they kind of have to bring this case to RJ, I think it was kind of cool to see. You don't really think about that. You don't think about, like, the people that are commenting on these magazines or watching the magazines, where they're from, or, you don't think about that whole behind the scenes aspect of where a magazine can come from. And RJ needed to see that freaking put out in front of him. But I'm also kind of like, what's your research department doing that they're not showing you these statistics?
I feel like, that was definitely a wake-up call for him, for Kat to further go into the analytics of, like, just exactly where these people are and who they're located. Because I feel a lot of the time, you'll look at the success of something from a surface level. You'll look at the amount of thumbs down or thumbs up or views or, reads or whatever it is, clicks, You'll look at it from a surface level and be like, oh, that didn't do well. Oh, that did well. You're not digging deeper into being like, oh, okay, so we see that women between the ages of 18 and 24 like this, or, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what this show shows is so important, because it's like a woman's magazine, but yet they don't have the control of what they get. You know what I mean? Like there's no control over what they get to say or do, which obviously it's a company. It has to be monetized in order to keep the building afloat, you know? But it's just kind of crazy when you kind of see that on a TV show. Like, oh yeah, it kind of makes you remind yourself of it. And it is very interesting too to see like obviously RJ at first was telling Kat to put false information out on social media. And
I
so
would feel so awkward.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like if you're in that situation.
And he says it's your job.
Yeah. And it's your job to talk and to basically put out a false statement about someone that you look up to and someone that has given you your career. Like, how do you break that down as an employee? Like, what do you do? Because you're,
Quit.
Literally, it's like, all right, I can't do that.
Yeah. I think that if your job asks you to do something that's out of your morals, I don't think that that's the job for you.
Yeah, and I think that it was interesting too because Kat, you could tell, obviously was confused by the situation and was going to figure out something. But it was interesting that she didn't necessarily go back to the girls and say, no, I'm not going to do that. She just kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
And usually Kat in those situations is always like, no, like she makes a stand. But I was really glad that she went back to the board and presented the issues and they were able to come back from that. Yeah. Love a good bold type comeback.
Yes.
They're so good.
They are. And
I miss the show.
I know. I miss this
it
group
always
of
gives
girls.
me that extra work energy that I need. I'm
yeah.
like,
You
go
got
to
this.
work
That love
and kill it tomorrow.
that extra level of just inspiration.
Yeah. Love them. All right, guys. I have to ask. So obviously Jane and Ryan are back together now. Do you guys feel some sort of weird? It wasn't like I know that they're back together and she's dealing with the whole cheating situation, even though he was like, it didn't mean anything. But when Ryan came back, he didn't seem super excited. Was that just me reading too much into the situation?
I think that's you.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like he was just like, I'm back. Like, it was just like not a really exciting, oh my gosh. It was just like, Ryan, you're back. I don't know.
Well, because I think didn't they break up before? And
No,
then
they got back together. Remember? She was
Yeah.
like,
they
I
got back
love
together
you.
at the end. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
I mean, it might still also be just kind of that, because here's the thing. He did cheat on her,
Yeah.
and it is kind of hard to just, once it happens, just to pick up, back up like nothing happened. So they might still be in that phase of like,
The limbo.
we're the limbo of like, we're coming back for it, but we're taking our time.
Yeah.
I kind of like sniffed out like, oh, wait, the tour ended early? Like, what? It made me raise some questions.
Oh,
Yeah, because he said...
You're giving me a theory.
Yeah, because he mentioned that, they're funneling the money into, my next book. But it also makes me feel like, but isn't also being on tour promoting your book? So why would they want to cut it early if that's promoting it? That's where my brain went. And that's why I felt like there's something fishy going on here. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
You guys didn't watch the promo.
What?
I watched the promo, so I kind of got a little sneak peek into the
I try to not watch them
relationship.
because I want to be surprised.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
And I
That's why
wanna-
I'm not gonna say
But
anything.
Obviously, when we saw the previews for next week or the season, one of your favorite predictions of all time is coming true.
I am so excited for this.
Yeah.
I'll save it for predictions.
Yeah, but obviously, this episode ended so amazing with Jacqueline taking her job back, but much to her dismay, it's going to go all digital.
It was still a slap in the face because, they went through all this trouble, the girls, to help Jacqueline get her job back. She got it back, but then RJ's like, haha, I thought you could trick me. You got your job back, but now it's all digital. So it's still a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Because Jacqueline is losing, the part of the magazine that she worked so hard to create.
Yeah. And it's also crazy. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, it's also crazy because I'm like, but how can that help? It just feels weird to me that RJ went from being like, oh, we need to save. I know you can do digital advertisements, but it was weird that they had talked so much about the advertising value of the magazine and how they can't publish it to get it out because of that reason, to then say we're going all digital and we're not going to do any print anymore. That seems very harsh. That seems harsh and not what's actually happening. I just feel like there's also something shady there that he's not telling her the full information.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly think he's doing it to get back at her.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I was a little bit upset, but I personally always love a challenge. So it's like, okay, then let's start and learn something new. You know,
Right.
like I already know this, like I already have this as an asset and I know how to do this. And why not take the opportunity to learn how to do exactly the same thing, but in a new form?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit upsetting, but it was also really exciting to see how she's going to take this, because this is going to be a challenge for Jacqueline. And I think that in the beginning of the show, we were really invested in the 4 girls, but now we are actually invested in other people too. You know, we've gotten a little bit about the background in Jacqueline, and right now we can tell that there's a little bit of tension between her and her husband. And then like Oliver has a daughter, and like just like all these things that you're like, okay, like there's these other
more.
characters matter as well.
But I also am just kind of going back to the magazine thing, like, why can't they have both? Why can't she head up digital and they still have a print version, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that's just supposed to be a nod to kind of the generation that we're living in currently, where so much is digital.
Yeah.
well, and I think it was, in my head, I was like, oh, well, it's saving the environment. Like, that was my first thing. Like, I was like, oh, great. Like, that's actually a good thing. But, you know, that was my first thought.
Do you guys remember the last magazine you bought?
It was probably like a 17 magazine or a Pop Tiger,
Oh my gosh.
J14.
Wait, that's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Me
I
neither.
think it was, like, I think I had a subscription to 17 magazine
Yeah.
when I was younger. Because there was, like, some sort of promotion, I think, where it was I don't know, it was like a Christmas present where I could always, like, sign up for a...
I mean, the last magazine that I got, it wasn't my subscription. It was like from the person that used to live in my apartment, and they used to be
And they just
subscribed
kept
to-
coming.
Yeah,
Wait, I
they
think
were
that
subscribed
actually...
to like Sunset and like something. I don't know. There's food recipes that I look at, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks good. Let me try
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Wait, are we talking about magazines we bought or we read? Because I'm pretty sure, like, waiting
No.
to get my hair done,
yeah.
I definitely read a magazine.
No, like bought that you
Okay,
you
yeah.
actually purchased.
Definitely, like, a teeny bopper magazine
So, like,
when
back
I was
in high school.
back in high school. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no,
Same
I
too.
lied. I've definitely bought, like something at a news... Like, they have, like, the Hollywood Reporter and Variety at newsstands and stuff that you can... There's a newsstand, guys.
Where?
in the valley. They have actual newsstands.
That's
you
cute.
It is
That
cute.
is so cute.
It's
The-
fun.
I've only seen the newsstand that's like on Beverly.
Yeah.
I forget that street. Is it Beverly Drive? I think. But
No,
it's like
but they're it's cute decor
popular,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, I think that kind of wraps up the episode. I'm excited to see where this season takes us. Obviously, a lot of exciting changes for everybody in their life and some fun relationship progression. But we'll talk about that in predictions. In the meantime, we are going to get into some news and gossip.
Yes, we are.
AfterBuzz TV News.
You guys, our dear Katie Stevens got married during the time that we were off, and her pictures look so cute.
Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
She looks gorgeous. Her dress is so beautiful, and her castmates were actually there to
Yes.
support her. I saw a couple of pictures on social media, and they looked so cute. I love that they're all becoming like a family, and they're all like legitimately becoming like best friends.
Yeah. It's so fun to see that they're
Aw,
best
look at
friends.
They're right there.
Off
cute.
camera.
So cute.
They are. Oh
They're
my gosh.
basically the same people
I
that
know.
we see on like on
They
the
are.
show.
Something that is fun too is she had a full, because obviously it was covered by people. And did you guys watch the video, the wedding
know.
video? Oh, it's so special. Something about wedding videos, no matter if I know them or not personally, they just make me cry. It's just seeing that, just the love they have for one another, and then it's just the fun day. Definitely check it out. People's got a great spread,
Oh,
and the video is great.
So congratulations to our dear
Yes!
Katie Stevens.
Congrats.
Yay!
To a
Love.
lifetime of full of love.
Love. In the meantime, after that, we're going to go into our special segment. So every week we're going to talk about a boss lady or a boss babe that really kind of struck us in this episode. Let us know if you guys have any thoughts on who you thought your boss babe of the week was. So comment below. And Veronica, would you like to kick it off?
Yes, my boss babe of the week was definitely Kat this episode.
Yeah.
I just think, she comes in with, such a plan. The way she basically schooled RJ and telling him, your readers are from all these kind of rural places. What you thought was the case is definitely not. And I just love how she came in and she just had this plan and she schooled him, and it was great.
Love
yeah,
it.
I love that. For me, it was Jane because she convinced the security guard to give him magazines, and
Yeah.
that totally helped them to get Jacqueline back on board.
That's a very, very true, valid
Very
point.
true. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say Jacqueline because I feel like she took it all with grace as she normally does, and like you mentioned earlier, she's up for the challenge. She's gonna learn something new, and after all, this could be maybe the best change that's ever happened. You don't know, but I just think she took it all with grace and poise, and to be able to show that as an example to Jane is just really special as a mentor. So she was my boss babe of the week. Alrighty, guys, let's get into some predictions.
Please.
Your AfterBuzz
Carla's been
TV
waiting for this one.
I'm ready for all the predictions.
I think you like predicting the show more than you like just talking
Yeah.
about the episode.
Well, okay, guys, we had to mention. So it's been season after season now. Karla has mentioned she believes that a certain couple will get married.
Yes. So from the beginning, you guys, I was team Suttard, okay?
Yes.
And I said it from the beginning. I was like, they are endgame. Like, they're going to get married. I mean, are they going to get a divorce? I don't know. But are they going to get married? Yes. And as far as the show goes, I hope they are endgame. But we see that there might be a potential proposal
Yes.
next week. So that is super exciting to just kind of see them move their relationship forward. I don't actually know if Sutton is going to say yes.
Ooh.
I think that they might have like a little rocky relationship. Everything right now in the show looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, even though I am really excited that there's a proposal, I don't know that she's going to say yes.
I think she's going to say yes.
You think so?
I think so.
I think so.
I hope so.
I think she's going to say yes because I think she's gotten past that whole, like, living in the big house and letting him kind of take care of her a little bit. She's gotten past that. So I think they've gone through what they needed to in their relationship. And I think she knows that since he's taking this hiatus, in order to progress the relationship, that's the next step, I think, that she is excited about. But I appreciate that. So you say it's going to be rocky.
I think their relationship's going to get rocky because he
That's
might
fair.
actually be able to. I think that he's doing this because he believes that he's going to go forward with the whole San Francisco thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Yeah. Veronica, do you think that they're gonna make it, break
I
it?
don't want them to make it.
Yeah.
I think here's the thing. I think that they are going to kind of have, their relationship is going to be solid this season because as much as I love them, I think that we might once again face some kind of rocky moments with Pinstripe and Jane.
Yes.
Because Allie, you had my mind going with your comment. I think maybe Pinstripe came back early from his book tour because his book was a flop. And I think maybe he's gonna kind of face some, harsh feelings of rejection. And I think that might kind of, not swim well with everything that Jane is dealing with. So there may be some trouble there. I also think that I hope to see by the end of the season, Jacqueline takes kind of her leadership role to the next level and, joins the board so she can make change there.
Oh, I would love that.
Wait, guys.
Also, I think that, sorry,
No, it's
I'm
okay.
going off her
Yeah.
moment. I think that another reason why Pinstripe maybe came back is insecurity.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
I really think, well, that's a good one. But I really think it's because, like, something's weird. Something's weird with his book. You don't just stop a press tour early. That's for you to get the news out there. Like, something weird is up. But we forgot the board. Remember the lady on the board that was making everything bad for Jacqueline? Where is she now? They never wrote her out. She's still somewhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. That one mean
The
girl.
one mean lady that was all talk about digital. Like, yeah, she always was talking about digital. She didn't like Jacqueline's ideas, didn't like her plans. And what was weird is that was what we thought was going to be.
I think she got replaced by Patrick. Like
No, because
not
she was a
like-
board member. Patrick was the digital person.
Oh.
So, anyways, if you guys know, I was very curious because I was like, wait a second. We thought she was maybe the reason that she
Maybe
was
she'll
getting
come back.
fired. Yeah, but then in that boardroom, I saw all men. I didn't see her there. So it's just very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's someone who I think might make an appearance and continue to make this hard. Or maybe she just was forgotten about and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they never wrote
There was like whatever.
Which we wouldn't mind.
Yeah, she was awful. But I do think that Jacqueline's going to obviously take the reins on this role and really succeed in it. And then I kind of, I think that Kat is going to be a little bit maybe bored with this social media role because she did kind of deal with a lot of the that she was doing a lot of political work, and she was kind of having a passion for that. And then going back to the magazine now that it's all digital, like, I think she just might she might venture off into her own and do something. Like, I feel like she's got so much greatness, and not that Scarlett would hold her back in any means, but I feel like she just has a wealth of knowledge and, like, is ready to, like, go to that next step. And I'm just wondering what that will be for her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's at Scarlett. Maybe there's a next step for her there. But I feel like she's got another step in her career that's about to happen, and I don't know what it is.
I feel like if anybody were to join the board, it might actually be her.
I could see that too.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be very good.
Because she ignites change
I
and she
love
makes it
predictions.
happen. Yes, Karla. Karla's great at predictions. I think we should end it on that. That's
Yes.
great. I cannot wait to see what this season has in store for us. It's going to be great, a fun ride. I'm so glad we're here together every Thursday to talk about it. But guys, in the meantime, Veronica, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, for sure. But before I do that, I
Yes.
just want to give a shout out to all of our fans in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Giving a shout out to David, G Lady, OU Came 97. I am so sorry if I messed that up. External Shockwave, as well as Jonas. Thank you all so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us in the
guys.
Thank you,
chat.
guys.
And you can find me, Veronica Valencia, on Twitter and Instagram at It's Me, Veronica_V.
And I am Karla Beltran. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Karla Beltran.
And hey guys, Allie Nasta here. Find me on Instagram at Allie Girl. And did I just say I'm Allie Girl? I'm whatever.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I'm Allie Nasta. You can find me on Instagram at Allie Girl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.